Hello everyone, this is Kunal Johar, CTO of OpenWater, and I'm here to talk about what webhooks are, what they mean for associations, and how you can use them with OpenWater. So before diving exactly into what webhooks are, I want you to think about what push notifications are on your cell phone. We've all seen these, or all provoked to do something. For me, it's my diet app that reminds me to make sure I log the food I've been eating. But a lot of us, we've seen this message, whether it's Uber, whether it's Lyft, whether it's our flight pass, it's a notification that we need to do something right now for transit. Believe it or not, these push notifications are powered by the same technology that powers webhooks. It's an automated message that goes from one system, enters another system when something happens. In the case of our Uber, the driver's phone is constantly talking to the Uber servers and it's sharing its location. When its location is within a few moments of arriving at the destination, Uber servers will tell Apple or Google servers to send you a push notification. So in summary, a webhook is an automated message that goes from one system to another system when something happens. So when it comes to associations, what are some ways that webhooks can be used? So let's start with the when. A when can be when a member pays their bill, when a new member registers, when a new member renews, perhaps someone registers for an event. In the case of when you're using OpenWater, it might be when someone submits a nomination or when someone completes a judgment. If you can break out the whens, you can understand the starting point of a webhook, that something has happened and we want to let some other system know that something has happened. What's cool about webhooks is you don't necessarily need to have a one-to-one mapping of when something happens here, you're only going to do something on the following side. You have a variety of systems you're already using, and those systems do things. For example, Twitter allows you to tweet things, or simplifying it here, providing a shout out. You might use HubSpot, and you might want to collect marketing insights so that you're only sending an email when someone has done something in another system. So you're already using systems to do certain things, and you're already using other systems to capture event data. So simply put, a webhook can allow something to happen when something else happens. So let's take a look through some of the examples I have here. When a member pays their bill, you might want to let HubSpot know. If you're already using HubSpot to send emails, maybe you want to have an email reminder to people that haven't paid their bill in a long time that maybe renewals are coming up. When someone signs up, maybe you want to high-five everyone around the virtual office and you just want to post a message to Slack or Microsoft Teams. If someone registers for an event, maybe you need to print out a name badge, or maybe you need to send them an at-home kit if it's a virtual event for them to participate. Well, wouldn't it be nice if instead of having to check your event system, you could check wherever you're already maintaining your to-do list? For some of the OpenWater examples, maybe you want to automatically give someone a shout out on Twitter from your company's Twitter account when someone submits an awards nomination. And if you're using an analytics platform like Association Analytics or Einstein, maybe you want to just capture when someone creates or when someone performs a judging so that you can have robust data on what your members are doing. Now, you can take these arrows and you can flip them around any which way you want. So maybe when someone judges an entry, you want to let HubSpot know, so you can send targeted emails to people that have been judges. Or when a member pays their bill, you can send that data to your analytics platform. Possibilities are really endless, and I think if you could focus on the work you're already doing, especially if it's busy work or repetitive work, webhooks can be used to help make those processes automatic and faster. So simply put, webhooks add value to the tools you already use. So let's take a practical example of how OpenWater uses its own platform and Trello along with webhooks. The American Advertising Federation is one of our customers. They have some 170 or so clubs that use the platform. And on an annual basis, we need these clubs to re-register so that we know the level of training they have and if they need a refresher on the platform. So step one is we have a club enrollment form that's built inside OpenWater. And then step two is we use Trello. So let's take a look and see how we use both of these systems along with a webhook to make our lives just a little bit easier. So right here, you can see the 2021-2022 club enrollment form. This is a form that administrators that run chapters at AAF can use to get started. You can see here the OpenWater form builder, where we collect information about their name, the club they're coming from, and then the critical question: is this your first time running the competition for your club? If they answer yes, we know that. If they answer no, well, we know we need to give them quite a bit of training. We then recapture their email address and we capture further information about them. Once they hit the submit button, that information is sent over into Trello. So here is Trello. Another staff member who ensures that AAF is up to speed only looks at Trello. When a new submission is made into Trello, it gets dumped into this board. This board contains all of the relevant information. We now know if they're a first-time admin or if they are an admin that needs training. If they're a first-time admin, we can simply move them into the complete round and we know that there's no further action needed. If they in fact said that they are an admin that this is their first time operating, well, now we need to send them documents, we need to have a one-on-one phone call with them, and we need to make sure they're up to speed. But the webhooks makes it so that we can use OpenWater to collect the information, and then we can use Trello to manage our to-do list and our task workflow. So if you're using Trello, here's a quick example to see how a webhook can tie the two systems together. In the next part of this video, I'm going to show you how you can connect OpenWater to Zapier. Zapier can be used to connect hundreds of systems to hundreds of other systems. So going back to this chart that I had just shared, right here, Zapier can handle this part here, OpenWater will handle this part here, and if you have other tools here, those can also be connected to Zapier. So please use this video as inspiration to you have webhooks transform how your organization does things. So let's take a look at connecting OpenWater to Zapier. So Zapier supports if this, then that style integrations to hundreds of systems. Zapier is not the only tool that does this. Maybe your organization has invested in Power Automate, Microsoft Flow, TIBCO, or Workato. All these tools work in a very similar manner. And what I'm about to show you is connecting OpenWater to Zapier in about 5 minutes. But once again, 5 minutes is all you need to connect it to any one of these other tools. I do recommend that you have a developer watch this part of the video if you're not a developer yourself, because the tools are very powerful and you can do quite a bit of automation by yourself, but the developer knowledge can help make sure the automation is done right. All right, so let's take a look at Zapier. So what we have here is the webhooks configuration panel within OpenWater, and you can see it's pretty straightforward. I can click Add Webhook, and then I need to give it a name, a payload URL, and a couple of other things. So the payload URL actually comes from Zapier. So let's take a look there. Click into Zapier, I click Create Zap, and then I want to search for webhooks. Now what's cool here is you can see how many systems that Zapier connects to. It connects to Twitter, connects to Slack, but for now we're just going to connect to a raw webhook. And what we're going to say is we want to catch the webhook when it comes. I press continue, I press continue, and now Zapier generates a URL that I need. So let me copy this URL and let me go ahead and paste it into OpenWater. I can give this a name. And then if I wanted to secure the webhook, I can put some sort of secret here into the authentication token that could be verified by Zapier. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check off what are the different events that I want to send to Zapier. So in this case, I'm going to send all events related to an application. And since I sent the update event right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my existing submissions, just going to make a change to it, and I'm going to press save. Great, it's saved. Now on the Zapier side, what I want to do is I want to test this trigger, and it'll take up to 5 minutes for the first webhook to arrive. So I'm going to resume this video once the information has made its way into Zapier. Here we go. We see the webhook has arrived, and we can see some of the data that has been passed along. So here I see it's my McDonald's test entry, and I have all of the information in the submission form has been passed over to the webhook, along with some information like the email address of who submitted it, the user, and so forth. So let me go ahead and click continue. And I've caught the webhook. Now I can talk about what I want to do after, which is I want to send a message to Slack. and I want to send a channel message. I connect it to Slack, which I've done in a previous step. And the channel I want to send to is going to be called Webinar. Webhooks Webinar. And now I can choose what I want to send in. So let's say the entry title, arrived. And I see it's that. And I want to see the email address. So it's that. So you can see here I could search within the fields that were captured from the webhook. I could assemble a message, press continue, and I can press test and review. Doing so should have sent the message over to Slack, and we see right here that it sent a test message over to Slack. So now going forward, any entry that's added or updated will be submitted to this Slack channel here. So that's a pretty quick example of once I click publish, it'll now continue to do this on a regular basis. But if you browse around Zapier, you can see how you can capture messages from OpenWater and then send them to other systems, such as your analytics system, such as Twitter, such as Microsoft Teams, and so forth. Final thing I want to show you here is that if you want to apply some sort of filter logic, Zapier allows you to click this plus sign here. I can now type in filter. And I can filter based on the data that's captured. So maybe I only want to capture things that in the previous example of AAF, if they only needed training, I only want those to go to Trello. Otherwise, I could skip those. So in summary, using OpenWater and Zapier, you can capture information, send it to Zapier, and then pass it along to hundreds of other applications. For those interested in going beyond what Zapier or Power Automate can do with webhooks, we have extensive developer documentation. So I just showed you how you can apply filters using Zapier. In our help article, we also have comprehensive sample code. So you can take a look at all of the webhooks that could potentially be sent out and build an application in the programming language of your choice to ingest these. All right, with that, thank you for watching. And for further reading, you can go through learn.openwater.com and follow whatever I did in this video in a hands-on manner. Thank you.